Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boyz commentary.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now. This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.
Yes, Reggae Boyz commentary, like and subscribe, yeah? Reggae Boyz commentary, like, share and subscribe.
Reggae Boyz commentary. Subscribe, like, and share. Is that the right order?
I'm Javon Watson, and you're watching Reggae Boyz commentary.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Simon Preston, and welcome to Reggae Boyz commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. So, as we know, guys, especially since the new year started, there has been a major conversation as it relates to Michail Antonio. But if you haven't already, smash the like button and also hit the subscribe button as well. Really appreciate it, guys. We're this close to 16,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. I'm sure you guys would have seen as well the interview of Jaime Hallgrimsson and also the videos of training, my reaction to the coach. And if you haven't already, do check out the video as it relates to what is the situation with Dishon Bernard, Ethan Laird, Ethan Williams, Malachi Sharp, Marcus Lawrence, and others of Jamaican heritage within the Manchester United Academy right now. So I do implore you to do and check out that video in particular so that you can get the absolute latest where this is concerned. So let's get right into the match, shall we? And let's talk about Michail Antonio. Now, I want to show you an article from yesterday, and then we are going to basically go a little bit more in depth of it. And Michail Antonio, it's quite clear, based on the quotes, that he's frustrated. Very frustrated. He said this: I feel what we've done over the last 2 years, we've thought, let's not get complacent. Let's get our 40 points. This year, at the beginning of the season, we were so close to the Champions League last year. We want the Champions League, said the 32-year-old. All right. He said, we were jumping steps. We tried to change our philosophy. You can see this season, we haven't played the same way we've been playing the last 2 years. We've changed it slightly. We've brought in players to play through the thirds, right? And as we know, West Ham last in the 2021 season, they finished 6th, 2 points off the top 4. And last season, they ended 7th. But as we know, they went to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Right. Antonio added, over the last couple of years, we've not really played much possession football. We kind of set off teams and just countered. Because we've been up there in the top 6, everybody up there plays possession football. They keep the ball, try to break teams down and score more free-flowing goals. Teams are countering us the way we would have countered them. It's a transition. We're trying to transition to become a bigger team, and I've got to be honest, it ain't working. So those are the words from Michail Antonio as it relates to how West Ham are. So let's talk about it, shall we? West Ham United. The last 2 years, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Big up, Brown Bear. Hope you are doing well. Everybody in the chat, if you haven't already, smash the like button and also subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content. All right, guys? Really, really appreciate that. Really, really, really appreciate that. All right? So, Michail Antonio. Let's talk about him a bit and the club. West Ham United, 2021 season, qualified for the Europa League. The following season, which was last season, they got to the semi-finals of the Europa League. So close to the final of Europe's second-tier competition. West Ham United, West Ham United got to the semi-finals of the second-tier European competition, club competition. And they were close to getting to the final. And now, right now, this season, they are in the UEFA Europa Conference League, which is the third tier. This is the second season of this competition taking place, and West Ham United are in the third tier competition, as made mention earlier. They've qualified for the round of 16 of the competition, so they will not play in the knockout round playoffs, which is essentially a round of 32, but you have teams that drop down from the Europa League. So yeah. So now that we have that sorted, this is the situation now. West Ham are still in a European competition. West Ham in Europe this season, flawless, absolutely flawless. 6 games, 6 wins, 13 goals scored. That's that's a little over 2 goals per game. And they've conceded 4 goals. They've defeated Anderlecht home and away. They've defeated Silkeborg home and away. And they beat FCSB out of Romania home and away. They've gone to places where traditionally English teams in the second tier competition go to and struggle at times to get results. But they got over the line. Lanzini, Benrahma, Bowen, Dawson, Antonio, all finding the score sheet in a lot of these games. Big up, Jason. Hope you're doing good. Big up, Sean. Hope you're doing well. So when you put all of that into perspective now, look at where West Ham United now as it relates to the Premier League this campaign. West Ham United this season are 3rd from bottom. Same points as Everton, same points as Southampton. Same exact points total. Right, guys, it's JD here in the chat. JD says, big up Simon. Yes, Wayne Evans now says, up Simon, blessings. So yes. All right, guys. So Mikhail Antonio is frustrated. And the frustration is quite clear. The frustration is lying with the way that West Ham have been playing. Now, how they've been playing in Europe has been good. You can look at the quality of the oppositions and say this is the reason why they're able to get that done and dusted. And it's clear to see that under David Moyes, it's a season too early. The cusp of the top four, the cusp of a Europa League final, and all of a sudden, there wants to be a change in how the team plays. Sean says, Antonio Church checking in, we're baptizing everybody. Antonio said it best, that it ain't working. That's what he said. Simply put, he said it ain't working and that the change of philosophy is not working. The way where they were sitting back and countering, he said that there was more rewards. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that word for word, but I said earlier that this season he said we're looking to be more the possession-based team, similar to the teams that you see currently right now that occupy the top positions. This season for Michail Antonio, 2 goals in the Premier League in 18 matches. 1 goal in the League Cup, 2 goals in the Europa League. Well, 2 goals in the Europa League last season, 1 in the Europa Conference League. Michail Antonio, the highest scoring Reggae Boy in the history of the EPL. So now, as you guys are aware, there have been interest in recent weeks as it relates to Michail Antonio. So Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Midlands are a team that showed interest, but it wasn't necessarily an opportunity that was the most appetizing towards Antonio and his team. Antonio wants to go back to that style that worked so well for West Ham last season. He likes when there is the likes of Declan Rice and Souček and Paqueta behind him, Bowen, who does all the hard running, Fornals. Guys, do you realize that October 24, that was the last time that West Ham United won a Premier League game. Do you know how long ago October 24 was? Argentina were not defending World Cup champions then. October 24. West Ham United are on a 7-game winless run in the Premier League. 7-game winless run. And come Saturday, they take on a team in Everton. Another team that have expressed interest within the player. Now, as we know, especially during the time where Duncan Ferguson was at Everton, Dominic Calvert-Lewin flourished. Dominic Calvert-Lewin flourished in his role. The 2019-2020 season, or the COVID season, he finished the season with 13 league goals in 36 appearances. The 2020-2021 season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin had 16 Premier League goals in 33 appearances, so almost a goal every other game. And in all competitions, 21 goals in 39 appearances for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everton, at this point in time, especially under Frank Lampard, and I see the comments as it relates to Chelsea, they're looking for somebody of the nature of Antonio. But you know West Ham would never sell them to Everton, because look where both teams are on the table. If West Ham United let go of Michail Antonio to Everton, that would absolutely, you're basically saying, here you go, Everton, here you go and avoid relegation. We'll just stay here. Probably see you in the championship next year. See you guys. That's basically the message that you'd be sending. And that's not a message that you can send. So it's absolutely something that cannot happen. So let's talk a little bit about the Chelsea situation, shall we? Why did he reject the Chelsea loan? Well, it was the club that rejected it, not necessarily Antonio, but the club rejected it. So Chelsea wanted a loan. West Ham were only willing to agree to if it was a full transfer, but Chelsea are not looking for a transfer. What Chelsea could have done is said, okay, we'll take him for 18 months. And what Chelsea could have done is played him for the rest of the season. And for the remaining 12 months of his contract, they could have loaned him out somewhere else. That's something that Chelsea could have done, but I don't think that was something on their horizon. That's something that could have been done. And the next thing, Jamie, is this. West Ham United, London club. Chelsea, London club. West Ham fans would never, ever, 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 ever forgive Michail Antonio if he was to leave. They would never, ever forgive him if he was to go to Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Probably the only London club he can go to and the fans are not like going to be screaming at him every 5 minutes. Probably Crystal Palace. The only London club that he could go to where persons are not going to be on his case, Brentford or Crystal Palace. Those two in particular. Quite recently, saw evidence. Big Crook says Chelsea is trash right now. I wouldn't accept it either, but he reject. Well, West Ham United did. Antonio needs to stop chatting and focus on his game. He's been trash as well. While his performances have not been poor. I mean, I mentioned the stats, and if you look deeply as it relates to the chances that he's getting, personally, I think it's clear that he should be doing a lot better than he is at this point in time. Way, way better than he's doing right now. That's for sure. Let's have a look at Michail Antonio, shall we? Reds Crossing says Rico Lewis eligible for Jamaica. Yes, Rico Lewis is eligible to represent Jamaica. He is 100% eligible. Michail Antonio, just to let you guys know, he has a contract with West Ham United until the summer of 2024. His contract expires June 2024. However, there is an opportunity where he could further it another year. So if he wants to, he could further it another year until 2025. So right now he has 18 months left on his contract. And when a player has 18 months on their contract or less, then in this situation, they're able to basically reach out and they can start negotiations and sponsors. Well, reach out to clubs. They can have conversations, At this point in time, that's something that they can do. So it should not be any surprise where this is concerned. So let's talk a little bit about Michail Antonio, shall we? So right now, when you look at it, black and white, he's performing to his XG, 2.42, and I'm sure to just write this down, XG is expected goals. So it really depends on the chances of you scoring depending on where the ball is on the pitch. The only thing that XG doesn't take into account is the quality of the player that is making the shot with the effort, the chance specifically. So that is something to bear in mind. Assist-wise, 1 assist. This campaign. If you look at the areas that he's picking up, if you look at it specifically, he's taking up a lot of area in the deeper areas. You can see exactly where the red is. It's not in these positions where you would want him to be. You see a few faint places, but more or less, he's been on the right-hand side. This is the area on the pitch that he's occupying the most of the time. So that's what we can say about Mikhail in particular. And West Ham need help. And West Ham have not been in this situation since decade. It was a long time, the last time that they were in such a position. So that's something to bear in mind. Could Antonio fit in at Everton? How Frank Lampard wants to play, how he approaches the game, what he's trying to accomplish. Personally, I think there are games that Michail Antonio can fit into, but I'm not going to say that every single game that he plays will be the game for him. IS Abde says, "What's up, my friend? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hope you and your family are also doing quite well." So there are a number of scenarios that can be looked at here. West Ham could keep trying with this new philosophy and approach, or revert back to what has worked the last couple of seasons and you continue with Antonio as that focal point. That's something that can be considered as well. And that's something that I personally think could make the difference to what we need. We, meaning West Ham United, and eventually Jamaica, so that Mikhail Antonio can continue to create some form and get himself in the right places and be in the right tune with everything leading into the Gold Cup. A lot of people are saying Mikhail is 32, he's going to be 33. Should we even involve him in this sort of situation with the Gold Cup on the horizon? Personally, for me, I think that he does. I personally believe that Michail Antonio goes to the Gold Cup. He goes to the Gold Cup for me. He goes to the Gold Cup, and not only that, but he is a focal point to the Jamaican team at the Gold Cup. So that's what I'll say where that is concerned. That's how I feel about Michail Antonio. We're doing well. Hope your family's doing well also. Yes, definitely. Most things are under control. Good to hear from you. And hope others are also doing the same as well. IMAX, it says. Big up JD. Hope you and everybody are doing well. Good to hear from you. Mikhail keeps a spot until 2025 at least. Jamie, I think you see it will really depend on where Mikhail is at that time. We're in 2023 right now, and where he is at 2023 compared to where he is in 2025 could be two different players. Definitely still a reggae boy. I said Gold Cup, Nations League, and Copa America. That's where my mindset and headspace is as it relates to him and his ability. So yeah, that's where we are. Big up Jamie Ricketts. Hope you're doing well. Timur Pelican, how are you and the family doing? Hope you're doing well. So that's something for us to bear in mind. That's something for us to enhance. No, we're not confirmed for the Copa America Reds crossing. However, USA, Canada, Mexico are down, but 3 more teams from CONCACAF are due to be invited. So I have an expectation that Jamaica will get an invitation to this tournament itself. So that's why I'm very, very confident about this in particular. So I think it's great. I think it's outstanding. So I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. Family is doing okay, and I are well. Good teamwork. Great to hear that. Great to hear that. Big up IMAX. It. Look, guys, I appreciate the encouragement. I really, really appreciate it. I believe in life that nothing happens before its time. So what is meant for me will be mine. That's how I feel in life. And Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom and everything else will be added to you. So I believe in life that everything falls into place in time. So until my time comes, I will keep doing what is necessary and keep doing my best. What's the deal with Antonio? The deal with Antonio is quite simple. He's unhappy, upset, livid with the philosophy, and he has even said that it's ain't working. So when a player comes out publicly, speaks to the press about the style of play in relation to the manager, there's a couple of things that could happen. 1, punishment for the player, or 2, the coach manager realizes that we have to change. And West Ham United have a perfect opportunity to make those changes against West Ham United this weekend. It's a relegation battle. West Ham United, they're a point. Well, Bournemouth are just ahead on 16 points. West Ham are 18th and 15. A victory for West Ham, and they could be as high as 14th in the table. That's how tight it is. To be quite frank with you, from 12th to 20th are in danger for me. Crystal Palace, they have 23 points. They're 12th. Nottingham Forest, they're 13th with 20 points. Leeds United, they're 14th with 17 points. The table. Who did I predict to be relegated again? The teams that I predicted to be relegated were Bournemouth, Southampton, and Crystal Palace. Bournemouth are 17, Southampton are 20th, and Crystal Palace are 12th. All right, so to win that vicinity. In the JFF time, lose all the while. in the JFF time lose. Simon, the JFF time lose. You better take it. When the opportunity presents itself, Big deal enters up. Well, Antonio just need to calm down because Moy is gone by next game or him change things. Moyes probably has another game. That's true. What did Antonio say? Antonio says that this new philosophy is not working, or as he says, it ain't working. That's what he said. Michail Antonio should go at Everton. As I said, under Frank Lampard, there'll be certain games for Michail Antonio, and there'll be certain games where it's not for him. So, should he to pick yourself up and you go all the way to Everton? I just don't see West Ham United selling Michail Antonio to a rival club in terms of the position in the table. These teams are both in the relegation zone. Relegation club selling to another relegation, so to strengthen that relegation side with a player. So that's why I don't see it happening. He's doing to West Ham. Antonio needs to go. Yeah. See what else here. Just seeing from 11th Aston Villa. You would put Aston Villa in the conversation because 10 points is but okay, if you want to add Aston Villa to mix, I wouldn't personally add Aston Villa to mix. I think 10 points is a healthy cushion. I think 10 points is a healthy cushion because you have to have 4 bad games, 4 consecutive bad games for you to go to the relegation zone. So I wouldn't add Aston Villa to the mix. I think Aston Villa will be okay by the time we'll have a conversation of this nature in May. El Padrino says, big up the Jamaican people then. Big up El Padrino, how are you? I'm not adding Aston Villa to the mix. I think 10 points is a decent cushion. Going to be punishment because West Ham buy a forward today. America says, better him go Burnley than Everton. Company changing things at Burnley will come back next season. Burnley. It's an interesting one. Watching them play, oh my God, they will drop a lot of points. Yeah, Aston Villa will drop a lot of points, but I personally don't see them to be, oh my God, and bite nails for relegation. Yeah, they might finish out 16th, but it might be falling from 12th to 16th eventually, but it's not going to be like, oh my God, you're writing it, 1 point. Or we're going to have a conversation at the end of the season, 5 teams should have been relegated and this and that. And boy, man, I tell you. But that's where we are, guys. That's where we are at this point in time. It's a scenario, and it's a situation that can't be brushed aside. Antonio said that he loves West Ham United, and in a previous interview, he said that he would be willing to spend the rest of his club career at West Ham United if the opportunity presented itself. He has a contract until 2024, and as Made mentioned, he has the option to further his deal another year to 2025. He has the option. He has played 8 seasons. 8 seasons in the Premier League with West Ham United. 8 seasons. He was at Reading in the Championship. Played at Cheltenham Town in League One. Southampton, Colchester, Sheffield Wednesday. Nottingham Forest. And now West Ham. I'm sure if West Ham United get back-to-back wins, the mood is going to be completely different. Completely different. So that's something for us to take in. So that's where we are, folks. Simon Cantwell. Yes, sir. Simon, it is the player who has the option, or is it the club? The player. The player has the option to extend it a further year. So, like Andre Blake, he has the option. Andre Blake has the option to extend his deal a further year until 2025. He has the option to do that. I think as long as he's playing good, he should be a part of the Reggae Boys. I've stopped looking at age, example Messi, Modric, and Ronaldo. I don't think it should be down to age. I'd say right now, based on ability, Michail Antonio is a Reggae Boy, and for me, he's on the plane to the Gold Cup and on the plane for the Nations League. That's where he stands for me. Post that, we'll have to see. What will he be like this time next year? Will Michail Antonio be in the Premier League next year? Will Michail Antonio be in the Championship next year? Will Michail Antonio be in the MLS next year? We'll see. Lawrence, I understand exactly what you're saying. I really do. But right now, for me, Antonio makes the plane for the Gold Cup. Not just because somebody is over a certain age mean that we should just throw them away. You understand what I mean? Jamie, let me be completely frank with you. You see, the amount of Jamaican heritage players that are within the UK, Canada, and the States, let's be realistic. Not all of them will get a passport, and not all of them will even be approached or have a conversation with. That's just the reality. Not all of them will. There is just so much, and there is enough to take us perhaps the next 2 World Cup cycles, because we have kids in the UK who are born to Jamaican parents still. We have kids in the UK who are born to Jamaican grandparents. But slowly what you're seeing happening now is that you're seeing Jamaican kids, well, kids born in England and the States and Canada are born to Jamaican great-grandparents. So that's something that we have to bear in mind. So let's consider this. Let's think about this. You know, we have to process that. So think about that in particular. Jamie Ricketts says facts. So yeah, there we go. That's something to prosper. For me, right back for England is just so stacked. So I don't know why Rico Lewis would be drawn into that conversation. Why should he be drawn in that conversation? Because look at England right backs. I think that they're fine when it comes to Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier and Trent and Reece James. Even Aaron Wan-Bissaka might be in the pecking order ahead of Rico. Rico is, if Rico is available tomorrow morning, I say bring Rico on board. That's how I genuinely feel about it. Rico is a great player. Rico brings everything. He's probably the only player right now that I would look at as a right back ahead of Ethan Laird. That is the only player, the only right back that I would say, let's go all out if it's not Ethan Laird. So that's how I feel. So let's see. Time will tell. Time will tell. If Antonio not play, we can't force him in the thing because last season him did not hot, but legs get tired process that Simon. Talk about Reese Oxford. Yeah, I get what you're saying. The Gold Cup is at the end of a long, hard season, and it might be after a situation where West Ham just avoids relegation or gets relegated or wins the Europa Conference League. So might be jaded, might not take part in the pre-camp before the Gold Cup, might just arrive 3-4 days before the Gold Cup, rest the first game or get half an hour of the first game, and starts the second game for the Reggae Boyz at the Gold Cup. So you made a good point, Lawrence, where that is concerned. But Antonio is one of those persons that you cannot brush aside. He needs to be on the plane alongside Ethan Pinnock as well. Has to. Reese Oxford needs a good run of games. We could just have to play for England because Man City equals England start. Boy, Lawrence. The conversation, basically, it's something that should have taken place sooner. Mitchell for right back for me or Rico Lewis. Mitchell? Which Mitchell is that? Rico, Silent, Salah, and Son, Citizen. You're a Man City fan, Jamie? I'd rather Archer than Antonio. I hear you. Simon, you look tired, bro. Where, Sean? Sean, you speak Dutch? Goedemiddag. Oh boy, I tell you, Sean, you're not easy, you know. Let me take this off the screen. What is wrong with you, Sean? How old are you? 14? I am tired, yeah. It has been a long day. Woke up at 5 o'clock to do an interview with our good friend Tony Park, Manchester United youth historian. So if you guys haven't already, you smash the like button and you also hit the subscribe button as well. And you do check out the video to that as well. But guys, coming up at 7:30, you'll see a special interview with Andrew Edwards. Yep, that's right, Andrew Edwards. You guys know who Andrew Edwards is, former national under-17 head coach. And in addition to that, you know, director of the Genesis Academy. Also did some work as well with Kingston College. Just right, what did you miss? Well, to compose 45 minutes in 45 seconds, Michail Antonio is unhappy with the playing style at West Ham United. Michail Antonio has had interest from other clubs, but it doesn't look like West Ham are going to sell him. West Ham have a grand opportunity to change their philosophy when they face Everton, their relegation rivals, this weekend. So it's a grand opportunity for Michail Antonio to play. Antonio, for me, certainly still has an opportunity to represent Jamaica, so he should not be brushed aside at all. Lewis is younger with and playing for City. I don't think he'll play for us. You bad though. Hope and pray, hope and pray, hope and pray. Max Aarons is Jamaica's best right back available. Interesting. I think Ethan Laird is better. Fully gets you. I get exactly what you're saying. I tell you this, Lawrence, how much games has Reece Oxford played this season in the Bundesliga? Bless up, Anthony. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Simon, do you think we'll see Aaron's again? Orlando? Yeah. Yeah. We need both Max and Ethan. Woohoo! That would be good. Simon, interesting question. What if West Ham wins UEFA Liverpool League? Well, if West Ham United wins the UEFA Europa Conference League but gets relegated, then they will participate in the UEFA Europa League in the Championship. So, yeah, that's where things stand, where that is concerned. If West Ham United wins the Europa Conference League, West Ham and Michail Antonio will have a trophy. They consider they've won a trophy, and they'll be in the Championship, you know? You win a trophy, nobody can take that away from you. West Ham United, the first English winner of the UEFA Europa Conference League. I don't think anybody can take that away from you. Yeah, I know Laird is injury prone, but he has recovered from that spell that he had in his late teens and finding a bit of rhythm at Queen's Park Rangers. To my understanding, my friend, it's less than that. I'll do my due diligence and check, but this season in particular, I understand that it's been less than that. So my concern has always been the games for Reece that he has been playing this season. So yeah. If you look at this season in particular, he's played 3 games actually. Played 3 times, started once. And that's where things are, where he is concerned. Very good though, when it comes to interception and his positioning when defending challenges. But yeah. But yeah, guys, 3 games from my understanding. But guys, like I said, 7:30, exclusive interview. Andrew Edwards, Kingston College, Whisper, Germany, etc. 7:30 Jamaica time. Your thoughts on Hutchinson's situation at Chelsea? Personally, I think that Omar is a good youth. I feel that there'll be more playing time coming his way. It was a bit bizarre that he returned to Chelsea for me, but I understand the logic. He started his career at Chelsea when he was 8, 9, thereabouts, and coming back to the club and to make his debut after progressing through the academy, I get that 100%. And I think it's a matter of time before he gets more appearances to his name. So I want him to continue doing the great work that he has been doing. Lawrence, I don't see England capping Reece Oxford at all. That would be a big, big surprise for me. I know that Gareth Southgate says the one thing in this country, meaning England, that definitely needs a bit more quality is a central part of the defense and the midfield. Because think about outside of a Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, how much other defensive midfielders out there? Okay, outside of Maguire, Stones, Cody, Mings, Tomori. Where else do we go with central defenders? Ben White. Hutchinson better ask for a loan, while Chelsea is playing wingers, buying wingers every week. A loan might not be a bad idea. That might not be a bad idea. But I think Graham Potter would have sit down and have a chat with him and discussion about his role in the team, what lies ahead, so that he can stay calm, stay focused, stay ready about what lies ahead. So folks, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Big interview coming up at 7:30. Go ahead, drink some water, relax a bit. And 7:30, come back. Exclusive interview with Andrew Edwards. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing,
posters and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.